The 2021 drivers are coming into my realm of eBay and Facebook, and I'm very interested in keeping up to date with what they're selling for. As we all know, the prices are going to go down over the next 2 to 3 years drastically on all of them. But how early can you grab one of these clubs, and what price point should you be looking for so that you don't lose a serious amount of money? Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon here, on the way to go and grab some milk, mainly because we need milk. Number two, the audio in my flat with 2 young babies is not the best for making videos. And number three, I think it's going to give a much more positive outlook on my marriage over the next month until golf course is open, if I make videos outside. Now, typically the 2021 drivers wouldn't even be on my radar at this point, mainly because they're just so expensive and you're mainly paying in the marketing. I definitely wouldn't recommend even bothering buying them online or eBay, because you can go and get them fitted for you for exactly the same price. But what price do they come down enough that actually I go, that's a good enough bargain that you could use it for a year and then sell it for the same price? And the main reason I had this thought is because I was trying to find great deals, and hopefully over the next 2 months I can find a Sim 2 at £200 or an Epic Speed at 210, just like I did with the Speed Zone last year for £200, which is £150 off its retail price. So the main reason for me making this video is go, when do you guys, if you find one on Facebook or if you find one on eBay that has been hit, at what point do you pull the trigger so you know that you're not going to lose money in the long run? And if I said to a lot of you guys, you could rent this Sim 2 driver or Ping G425 Callaway Epic Speed for £30 for the entirety of the year. You can go and play with it, hit it, whatever. Make sure you don't roof it, and then at the end of the year bring it back. There you go, £30, and you had a new driver, and you could probably repeat the process for the following year. 30% is the golden number for a few reasons. As I stated earlier, if you were to go and buy a brand new club, you go and get club fitted for it, it's more likely to be, well, I'd like to think so, it's going to be suited to your swing right shaft, right loft, whatever. Okay, your swing might change over the course of a year, rendering that driver completely useless and the club fitting completely useless, but you're going to definitely be a lot more closer to where that driver needs to be for your golf game. 30% off a club means that you could buy the club, hit it, trial it, and if you don't like it, swap it out for something different. You get to go and do on-course testing with it, you're going to test it against other golf clubs, which you can't necessarily do with a club fit. Yes, it's a lot longer process, but actually it's going to be a lot more proven. You're going to be using it on your golf course, with your friends, in your environment, and if it works, then you know that club is going to be suited to you. And if it doesn't work, you're losing a minimal amount of value of that club, opposed to the club fitted route where you're spending full whack. You take the wrapper off, you hit it, and if that club fitting wasn't good, you were swinging it differently on the day, you were a bit more stiff that day, you had the fitting in the morning, but normally you play in the evenings, you've lost the 30 and 40%, and hence why someone else is now picking up your driver for a great bargain, and you're now re-looking for another driver to fill you back. Now here's where the 30% rule comes in really strong. You have to take the 30% off the original retail value. So for example, Callaway Maverick last year, $449 it cost for that driver. At the moment, and I'll show you some examples and sold listings of the most recent, Callaway Maverick driver at the moment is selling for about $260, $270 pre-owned in a course of a year. So that's a 40% drop. If you had got that Maverick driver at the 30% off value, so let's say you got it at £300, £310, and there was a lot of them last year for that price, you hit it, tested it, tried it, maybe played the entire year of it. If you loved it, obviously it stays in the bag. If you don't love it, then you can swap it out for something completely different. Therefore, you've only lost £40. And this is why I'm bringing up these sold listings. You're going to find it very easy to sell it at that price. So I don't want you to just have a figure, or I'm just pulling a figure out of the air and you go, Simon told me I could sell it at this. There's tons of them selling at this price. The retail price is very important to take note of. Sim driver retailed at $349. Again, take 30% off. 40%, or what the Sim drivers are selling for at the moment, I think they're about $220, $230. Again, you try and get a Sim driver last year for about $260, $270, play the entirety of the year, at the end, love it, don't love it, sell it on, keep it in the bag. Okay, so let's get on to some sold listings that typically look really good value because they're a lot cheaper than the current retail marketing price, but they're probably not that cheap enough. Cobra, Rad, Speed, there's actually a few of them, and the majority of them are just head onlys by quite similar sellers, and these are all recent. I mean, you're seeing quite a few of these selling day by day. Majority of people probably have got their F9 speed back, probably not their speed zone, and they're just going to flip it out. They're just going to put the Rad Speed in, which I wouldn't necessarily advise, mainly because it doesn't quite work like that. Head weighting, where the weight, the CG, the rest of it doesn't mean it's going to act exactly the same as the one that you might have got fitted for, or the one you might have worked. Anyway, as you can see, 275 for the head only, which you would think, oh, it's a good price, it's quite close, but you're missing a shaft, and a shaft is 60-70 pounds. So that is pretty much top value for the Rad Speed head at the moment, even though it's still good value compared to the rest of the market. There was a few down here, 290, 290, again pretty much, well, they are brand new, they've got the wrapper on and everything else. Again, good value, not good enough for me to pull the trigger or advise you guys to go and just get a speed zone at 250, 240, go and get an F9 at 200, 180. At that price point, all you're paying for is a bit more paint, bit more marketing, and not really that much more value. Moving on to the Sim 2 driver. Now, quite a lot of these have popped up recently. As I say, normally it's the end of February that TailorMade basically just sends out all their pre-orders. And it'd be very interesting to see how many pre-orders actually happen this year. It's the first year that I've never been working in a golf environment, aka a shop or club fitting centre, so it'd be very interesting to see how that all happened. Because normally you had the rep come in and basically show you what the driver is, whereas this year none of that would have really happened. Again, you look at the prices here, 329 brand new driver, still £70 off, which is good value. 380, that's pretty much close to retail. 320, 320, 329. Again, they're cheaper, it's just not worth it. £70 off a brand new driver, whereas 2 months, 3 months, and a lot of these people would have bought these drivers, hit them a tiny bit more, not really worn them out at all, and they're going to be at 280, 270, 260, eventually 250, and then we're getting close to that 40%, 30% rule, where you're basically just renting a driver for free. The last one I want to have a look at is the Callaway Epic Speed, mainly because of the one it's replacing, which is the Epic Flash. Now, I've covered this in a previous video, but the prices are just outrageous for something that's only been out a year and a half, 2 years. We've got to remember the Maverick replaced the Rogue, the Epic Speed is replacing the Flash, and as you can see, 380, and I'm sure there'll be some that are sold for 350. These things do retail closer to the 450 or the 499. I'm not too sure if they've dropped their price already yet. But if we went to Callaway Epic Flash and then just have a look at what the prices are going for there, it's just so much better value. In the space of a year, the Epic, or the Great Big Bertha Epic, that's selling at 150, 160, and that's 4 years old. And now these ones are already coming down. As you can see, look, buy it now, 225. That's 50% off the one that has just been replaced. And talk about renting a club for a while, you could have that in the bag for the next 3 years. You're going to lose £30 on it. So guys, there you have it. I hope that kind of made sense. Make sure you kind of think about the whole process of renting the club for a year, 2 years, and how much that rent's actually going to cost you in the long run if you don't go and get club fitted. And if you were to rent the wrong one, how much is it going to cost you to rent the next one? Thank you for joining me on Grab the Milk Adventures. I think realistically over the next 20 days it's probably the only kind of videos I'm going to be able to kind of make till the golf clubs open, which is a very exciting prospect indeed. Leave this video a like if you liked it, subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.